Imagine being a young person in pre-independent India. It's a beautiful day and you're sitting by the riverside. Your young bride is sitting next to you. You're just discussing with her your financial status. Your living has been affected because of a foreign presence in the country that has been chipping away at the local industry. Finally, it has arrived at your village, and you're the first generation to be truly affected by it. You're young, you have your whole life ahead of you, but you are a little concerned and a little uncertain about your future. Someone comes up to you and says, "Would you like a piece of land? Your own piece of land?" Your eyes light up and you look towards your bride. She nods. You needed that. You look up at him. You nod. In your mind, you're thinking, "I'll just go and check out the land, come back and let my family know. And then our new life will start." You don't know how you get there, but you find yourself on a big ship. You've never seen a ship before, let alone been aboard one. A little afraid, you hold your wife's left hand and squeeze it. She looks up. She's never seen you this afraid. She holds your upper arm to show her support. You look around, and there are people who don't speak your language. They look like you, but they don't speak your language. You're huddled in this large ship like cattle. And then, for the next few hours, days, months, years, you don't know. You lose track of time. You're on that ship. On the other side, it's a beautiful country. And it just dawns at you, you may never see your loved ones again. You're told you're bound by a contract, which is 5 years long. If you wish, you can save the money and return after 5 years. What would you do? What would you do if you found yourself in another country without even knowing that you were being taken to another country? What would you do after a hard day's work in the evening, when memories of your loved ones, friends and family came knocking at your heart? What would you do to ease the pain? Would you sing? Would you think of the memories and put it to music? Would you remember and share the stories? This is the story of Indo-Fijians who were brought to the Fiji Islands to work on the sugar plantations in the country. Most of them were unaware of what was happening to them, where they were being taken. But through their songs and music, they kept their culture alive. That is sung in temples, at weddings, at birth ceremonies, even today. No matter where Indo-Fijians have traveled, their music has traveled with them.
किसके बताई हम पीर रे विदेशिया पीर फिराना पे किसके बताई हम पीर रे विदेशिया गिर गिर बदरा सवनवा के हाय रामा गिर गिर बदरा सवनवा के हाय रामा कौनी नगरिया बसरे विदेशिया
My father told me that his father in the 1940s belonged to a Bhajan group, and where they would sit and sing Ramayana, sing bhajans with their little hurkas. Hurka was a little drum, and they had harmonium, etc. And my father, as a child, would accompany, but didn't have anything to say. It was the older man's job to do
I had been particularly interested in Indian culture because I played a lot of musical instruments like harmonium, tabla, sarod, and stuff like that. And the culture with them in the sense that we used to sing the bhajans and the various log gates and stuff like that, play tambura and dholak and what have you. So it was always in the family and in the society. Mm-hmm. So, and then we had Kawalis, people who were Muslims, they brought these things. So we were in a culture that, we're surrounded by this kind of culture. And if you would have found that in Fiji, there's a lot of it.
I also remember that as a child, as a 5-6 year old, we would wait for the Ram Lila in the community, and every night we would all go over to see this open air play about Ramayana, and that's where I gathered my summary knowledge of the Ramayana.
एक तरह से गाना बजाना भी is a media, right? It's kind of a medium. So तो उसका रोल कितना रहा कल्चर को मेंटेन करने में?
बहुत ज़्यादा क्योंकि हर एक मौके पर कोई ना कोई गाना बजाना तो होता है। बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, छठी में होता है, शादी में होता है, मंगल गीत गाते हैं, शादी गीत गाते हैं, दाई गीत, और वैसे भी फिर बॉलीवुड का इतना असर होता है, तो बहुत ज़माने से है।
On Sunday, during the daytime, there would be a huge effigy of Ravan, and it would burn. Now, in those days, I didn't understand why they were burning. I just thought it was the end of the week and end of what we were watching. And it was fun, it was entertainment, and of course, along with that, it was an ice cream day. So we couldn't afford ice cream every day. So this was a day when we had an ice cream. So from those days, we've been listening to Ramayana, but singing. Now, my house was next to a little temple, and every Tuesday they would be singing. Now, even if we didn't go to the temple, we could hear it from home, that what was happening, and there was a certain tune, and there was, in those days, there wasn't any musical instruments. It was just singing from the book, and older men would sing. But times have changed, and even in Fiji, as time went on, I saw women joining in. So women were encouraged to sing along as well. But today, if I go, there are lots of younger people, the young boys and girls who join in to sing. Those are my early memories of Ramayana.
Ramayana had such an influence on Indo-Fijian culture that even when they were singing dohas from Sufi saint, they would begin and end with Ram Nam, like this one.
Oh, kaga sab tan khaiyo, chin chin khaiyo mas ji, do naina mat khaiyo, maitiya milan ki aas ji. मैं हरि का बन जा रहा उड़न मेरा है राम नाम मैं हरि का बन जा रहा उड़न मेरा है राम नाम
कुछ गावे ना उसमें साउंड आई
Avataram Sanadhyas, my 21 years in Fiji, or Fiji Dweep Mein Mere 21 Varshe, which was done in Hindi first, where he captures what was happening in his time, because he was a Girmitia and he spent 21 years. So he is probably the only one, apart from one other person I know, who actually captured his experiences during Girmit in literary space. So that is really an awesome piece of literature for anybody who's interested in learning about what happened in those days in Fiji, in the early days. Yeah.
आगे आगे राम चलत है, पीछे लक्ष्मण भाई।